Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to create a marble epoxy countertop. So this is an old marble countertop. I'll be doing a white resin marble over the counter. Now I'm sanding with a 80 grit sandpaper just to create a surface for adhesion for the base coat. When you're working with epoxy resin, you have to ensure that you're working on a level surface for the pouring of the epoxy, otherwise the epoxy will not even out on the surface. Now I'm adding a coat of white industrial enamel paint. This paint is an epoxy primer and they come in various colors. I'm using the color white because I'll be doing a white resin marble top. I'm now adding the second coat after leaving the first coat to dry for an hour. I'm also using a foam roller. I find it more effective using the foam roller because it eliminates the brush strokes. I'm now repeating the same process on the backsplash. Now I'm mixing the epoxy at a 1:1 ratio. I'm using 250 ml resin and 250 ml hardener. So the total I'm mixing at first is 500 ml. I'm not mixing any specific amount. I'm mixing it in small portions. All you have to do is follow the instruction on your epoxy. If I need any more, I'll just mix some more. I'm using the same white enamel paint to tint the epoxy. There are various epoxy resin coverage calculator online that will assist you with the total amount of epoxy you will need to complete your project. So all you have to do is to work out your total square footage, plug it in the calculator, and it will tell you how much epoxy you will need. Some of them are a bit off to me, so I don't use them. So because of my experience with mixing epoxy, I know how much I'm definitely going to need. I'm now pouring the epoxy on the backsplash, after which I'll just use a squeegee to spread it out. The epoxy is self-leveling, so after pouring in a few minutes, it will level itself out and run over the edges. So basically when you're pouring epoxy, start from the middle and work your way out. I'm repeating the same process on the countertop. I'm using my gloved hand to spread out the epoxy. After applying the epoxy on the surface 1/8 of an inch, I use the heat gun to pop the air bubbles. As you can see, the epoxy has been leveled out and is now running over the edges. I'm now using a black spray paint to tint the white epoxy into two shades, light gray and dark gray. I'll be going in with the light gray first. Now I'm just using the mixing stick to make some streaks in the epoxy. You can go with whatever pattern you desire. Earlier I went on Google and I looked up some images of marble design. So I'm just trying to mimic the pattern of the veins. Now I'm tapping the gray streaks and I'm just blending it in the white epoxy to create the veins. I'm adding another coat of the light gray on the same lines and I'll be blending it again. I'm repeating the same process on the backsplash. So guys, now I'm going in with a darker shade of gray and I'm adding it on the same vein, and I'm not gonna add much of the dark one. The reason for me adding 2 shades of gray is that when I saw the pictures, they are of 2 shades, light gray and dark gray, and the light gray is usually like a shadow in the background. So after blending with the paintbrush, I'm now using the heat gun to further spread and mix the colors. After 2 hours, I'm now adding a clear coat of epoxy. After 4 hours, I remove the tape from the epoxy. If I leave the tape on the wall to be dried with the epoxy, it's gonna be completely hard to be removed, and while removing it, it will peel off some of the epoxy. Also guys, after every half an hour to an hour, I have to scrape underneath the edges, scrape the dripping epoxy from underneath the edges. If I leave that to dry also, when the curing time is over, I will have to sand it down. After a week, I'm using some clear silicone to attach the backsplash to the wall. And I'm also using some clear resin to attach the base of the backsplash to the countertop. So guys, this is how the countertop turned out. If you're watching for the first time and you have not seen the bathroom makeover series, I just want to let you know that I created this designer looking floating vanity, and there's a link for that video in the description down below. So if you have not seen that video, you can check it out. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, remember to leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to share with a friend. And bye. I'll see you in the next one.